everybody, and welcome back to another Crafternoon. My name is Tara and I work for the Ottawa Public Library. Today I'm really excited to be back to share another awesome art project with you. We're going to be creating crazy shoe art. Are you ready? Let's get started. Activate your creative mind, warm up your fingers, and if you think you might need some help with this project, you can always ask a grown-up. Here's a list of items you're going to need to create your crazy shoe art. To create your crazy shoe art, you will need a sheet of white printer paper, a pencil, an eraser, a pencil sharpener, a black marker, an assortment of colored markers, and if you don't happen to have any colored markers at home, you can always use office highlighters. They work really well, especially if you like bright colors. If you don't have any markers or highlighters, you can always use colored pencils. They will work just fine for this project. Now, because we're doing crazy shoe art, you're going to have to look around the house and find an interesting shoe to draw. As a finishing touch for your artwork, you may want to add a frame, so you may also want to get a glue stick out, as well as a sheet of colored construction paper. We are ready to go. For step one of your crazy shoe art, you're going to want to start with your sheet of paper and your pencil. You may also wish to have an eraser and a pencil sharpener nearby. I mentioned earlier for you to look around your home to find a shoe that you'd like to draw. So I've chosen this running shoe, but you may have chosen something completely different. It could be a sandal, it could be a boot, it could be a slipper. It's up to you. I just like all of the details in this shoe, so that's the one I've chosen. Now, you're going to want to study your shoe with your eyes to look at all of the details. So if I'm looking at this shoe, I see the contour of the shoe, but I also see a lot of details. So the shoe is made with a bit of a netting material, and that netting material has little circles in it. So I'll be drawing all of those circles along with these little lines of silver. There's an N here. We've got shoelaces, and on the sole of the shoe on the side we have some more lines and details, and I can see a little bit of the tread on the bottom with some little indentations. So I want you to try and draw all of the little details that you see. So I'm going to take my pencil. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do the best job you can, and you want to take up a decent amount of the area on your paper. Okay, so you can watch me and then you can draw your own shoe using your pencil. We're ready for the next step of our project. Now, I mentioned earlier that I was going to draw all of these little circles where the netting of the shoe is, but instead of doing those in pencil, because there are so many of them, I'm just going to do those right away with my black marker. So I want everybody to find their black marker now, and all of the lines that you've drawn for your shoe, we are now going to go over with a black marker, okay? So I'm going to put my shoe aside. I don't need it anymore. And I'll move this into the center so you can see it really nicely. And we're going to darken all of the lines that we've just created. pencil lines with our black marker, we're now going to take our pencil again. We're not going to be coloring in this shoe. This shoe is going to remain black and white. And the way that we're going to make this into crazy shoe art is by making a really crazy background. So that's what we're going to start doing now. You're going to be separating your background into a few different sections. And in each section, we're going to come up with a crazy pattern to put inside. So I'm going to split up my page with a wavy line, but you can do your sections the way you want. So I'm going to have a section here and then several just going around the entire shoe. And I'm going to use wavy lines to separate these sections. Like that. I think I'll put one over here. And another one coming up here from the shoelace up to the corner. Great, I think that looks pretty good for me. Now, in each of these sections, I'm going to draw a pattern. So a pattern can be polka dots, stripes, zigzags, spirals, raindrops, whatever you can think of. Okay, so for this first one, I think I'm going to do, I think I'll do some polka dots. And I'm going to make them fairly big. So all of these patterns we're going to be creating with our pencil marks, we're going to be coloring in afterwards with markers. If you don't have markers, I mentioned earlier that you can use office highlighters, or pencil crayons work really well for this project as well. Pencil crayons just take a little bit longer. Markers are a bit faster. Okay, my first pattern is complete. Now I'm going to do a second one over here, but I'm going to do something different now. So I like the idea of some lightning bolts. So I'm going to draw a few lightning bolts to fill up this area. Okay, now I'm going to move over to this section, and I think I will do, well, lightning bolts, maybe some raindrops over here. Let's make this into a storm. Now I'm going to move over to this section. What should I do? Let's see, maybe some hearts. We've got our last section up here, so now I have to choose one last thing to draw. Let me think. I think I will do some triangles, upside down and right side up. Ready for the next step. Now that we've created all of our patterns in the background areas, we can begin coloring them in. So if you have some markers, now's a good time to get them out, and highlighters work well too. I mentioned earlier, if you don't have any markers or highlighters, you can always use pencil crayons and they will work just fine. Now, because I have different patterns, I'm going to be using different colors because I want each section to look different than the other ones. So, let's do this. Okay, now that I've colored in all of the little shapes in all of my different sections, we still have to color in the background behind all of these shapes. So I'm going to use a different color once again for each section of the background. And I think I will begin down here with the lightning bolts. And I'm going to choose a nice dark blue for my background so that it actually looks like a sky full of lightning. And then I'm going to go around and complete all of the other backgrounds, but leaving the shoe simply black and white. We're not going to color the shoe in. We're only coloring in the background. Everybody, the only thing left to do is to add a nice frame to our artwork. So I've chosen a black piece of construction paper because I think that'll look nice, but you can choose any color you like if you want to add your construction paper frame. And we're going to flip over our artwork, take your glue stick, put some glue on the back of your art, and then we are going to center it nicely in the center of the page so that there's a really nice border surrounding our artwork. Make sure you have enough glue so that it's not going to become unstuck. And when you think you have enough, put the cap back on your glue so it doesn't dry out. Flip over your artwork. center it nicely and press down so that it sticks well. And there you have it. Congratulations if you got this far. That was a lot of work, but hopefully you're really happy with your results. It was really great having you join me today to learn how to make crazy shoe art. I hope you're happy with your results and I hope you had lots of fun. I'll be back again next week for another Crafternoon activity. But in the meantime, I encourage you to check out the Ottawa Public Library's website at biblioottawalibrary.ca. We have an online summer camp happening right now, and it's called Summerland. So I encourage you to click on the Summerland link and see an amazing schedule of all sorts of activities and guest presenters. If you liked this video, don't forget to click like, and we encourage you also to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when we have new content being uploaded. I'll see you again soon for another Crafternoon. Bye!